Hey everybody, how's it going? It's me, your boy Steve Thomas, Choice Minis on Instagram. Welcome to our very 20-something live stream. I have to apologize right off the hop here. I am a mess. I started dinner a little late tonight, and yep, there are burgers downstairs. I haven't gotten to put them in my mouth, but I'm very, very pleased to welcome my co-host, your favorite part of this stream, Mr. Adam Grimm. How you doing, buddy?
Doing real good. Got a Slurpee. Just had dinner brought to me.
Oh boy.
This chicken, or not chicken, this fish looks amazing.
And now I'm super jealous. We started up a couple weeks ago with HelloFresh again, just to give it a shot again. And
a couple of those, they're not bad.
Yeah, so far they've actually been pretty decent. I'm quite impressed with how things are going so far. So but yeah, tonight we're gonna be putting some skin on our boy here. I got a little bit of skin, but I want to do some like patchwork and make it so that there's a little bit more interest in the model. This is of course Fabius Bile, Flavius Bile, Flava Flay Bile, Fabio Bile. Get behind my face,
Fabio.
I feel like that's I don't even know if that is a thing that people outside of Canada. I don't know how far Just for Laughs spreads. Hang on 2 seconds. I need to take off at least one shirt because it is boiling in the studio right now. Give me 1 second. I am getting naked on stream. Well, not entirely naked. Unfortunately, there's no webcam to go along with this, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it that I'm wearing less clothes than I was a second ago. Because oh boy, it's hot. Oh boy.
Discovered the other day.
What's that?
Was actually, I guess it is a TikTok.
Oh yeah.
But it's the one redneck dude who asked the liberals to come take his guns.
Oh, come take my guns? Kiss me for it.
With your soft hands, run them down my bottom.
Caress me with your soft liberal hands.
Yeah, I love that video so much. He has a bunch more that are kind of like along the same vein. And they're all quite entertaining.
That's awesome. Yeah, you can also follow Choice Minis on TikTok. I've posted a couple times on there. I have no idea how TikTok works because I am an old man. And
Jamie bought me an SD card for my phone.
Oh, nice.
So I can download all my Spotify music onto it.
Oh, nice.
And then I use that at work.
That's awesome.
And to pay her back, she made me get the TikTok because she always sends me TikToks, but she has to Facebook Messenger me them, and I guess it's a huge pain in the ass. So she's like, if you just get TikTok, it'll be easier.
Yeah,
and I was like, more Chinese tracking software on my phone.
Well, since your phone is already tracking software for Google and Facebook and literally everybody else.
Yeah, I was like, why not? I don't want to be exclusive, okay? Yeah. They can see all of the nerd pictures and pictures of my dog.
Yeah, I was gonna say if somebody gets into my phone, they're gonna get to laugh when they find my banking information. They'll be like, "Oh, that's sad. He is 35. He should be doing better than this." Then
I think if they saw my banking information, they might offer to help.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Hey, listen, man, I have 400 stolen credit cards that I'm just gonna give you. Sorry that we got in there in the first place. We didn't know."
I did hear some sad news, but also good news out of China. It's both sad and good at the same time.
All right, what's sad and good that comes out of China? Jackie Chan. No, Jackie Chan is playing State's Puppet real bad right now. Anyway.
Unfortunately in China, this is the sad part.
Okay.
They have in southern China, there is a dog meat festival.
I'm hoping that it's a festival for your possible companion in Fallout?
No.
Okay.
It is the worst meaning of dog meat festival.
Okay.
Good news though.
Yep.
Animal rights activists raided the a convoy that was taking all the dogs there and freed all the dogs and got them out of the country somehow, which is very impressive because it's
China's big. China is the fourth largest country on the planet. So getting things out of China, depending on where that festival in particular was, that could be a long haul. That could be a long haul.
Yeah. But yeah, they freed all the dogs, and that I got sad reading the article, and then I got happy at the end, and I was like, you know what? Good job. Also, China, go fuck up.
China is. I mean, Kyle would make a kick-ass duke.
He would. I mean, to express to the stream and those who watch this in the future, my faith in the Canadian political system is that in the last federal election, I voted for a golden retriever simply because he was a good boy.
Well, that's fair.
And that's about as much confidence as I put in our political system federally.
Well, that's...
Well, I mean, yeah, it's kind of all the same. It's all just a big mess.
That is true. The world is full of messy things, and I think the sooner we all realize that it's okay to treat other people as individuals.
Yeah.
You know, like, again, as you voiced, I am certain that there are people inside of China who are not, even people who are party members, who are like absolutely decent people. They choose a very weird way to portray that, and I feel like that is most of political theater now. Like, I used to volunteer for political campaigns and have worked in the past for political parties. I was talking about this earlier. I won't now. I won't. It's not about competing ideas for good governance. It's
about getting in and making the most money as fast as possible and then leaving.
Or trying to dunk on people like that. So the sort of line of work that I come from, and what I've sort of worked towards is social media consulting and among other things. And that seems to be the major thrust of every party now, seems to be just trying to dunk on one another while accomplishing as little as possible, it seems.
Yeah, I am. Yep. It's not like it's a new thing in Canada. That's just kind of like how it's been for at least the last 20 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like there was a time where it was, maybe I'm fooling myself, but I felt like there was a time where it was more about, you know, the content of your governance policy and the validity and legitimacy of how you wanted to rule, much more so than it is now. Now it is just, can I dunk on my political opponent in a way that gets me likes on Twitter or, you know, whatever stupid social media platform they're on, or more talking points, more column inches dedicated to me by the CBC or whatever it is that they've decided is like, important today.
I'm going to tell all the people everywhere to stop cultural appropriation, while at the same time appearing in a guest country's formal religious wear, and then being scolded by them. Be like, yeah, please don't come back.
Listen, Prime Minister Trudeau has been a series of gaffes. That has more to do with he needs better handling than what he is getting, and that is just that is literally comes down to the Liberal Party staffing him badly on a consistent basis. Anybody can make those mistakes. That is just bad staff work, and it's mostly because we don't actually care most of the time. Foreign service within our government is not something that is particularly well funded, and I don't want to like single out the people who work in the Foreign Office, but like, you got to cover your man, whether or not you like him. You got to at least keep yourself from, you know, creating international faux pas. Like,
yeah,
this is bad staff work.
I mean, there is that one, but there's, you know, stuff from back before he was in government where, you know, the dreaded I can't even really call it blackface because he was like torso and arms and face.
Listen, yeah, as somebody who has in the past worn blackface, I absolutely regret it. I didn't understand what I was doing because I was a sheltered, moronic white boy. I apologize for it, but also like, I'm not gonna blame the dude for that, and I'm not trying to give Trudeau a pass. I'm just saying that I'm not necessarily. It was a different time is not a defense any longer. I understand that it was wrong when I did it. That doesn't make it right now. But like, I've lived, I've grown, I've tried to become more encompassing and understanding of why it is such a why it is such an affront. I'm not going to do it again, but I did look like Mr. T for an evening, including the mohawk. I really went all out. But like, that seems pretty minor by comparison to some of the things some of our prime ministers have done. Just saying, if we ever want to like really talk about it, William Lyman Mackenzie King was part of the Pinkertons that, well, helped organize the Pinkertons, who were strikebreakers in the United States, who literally, they just went ahead and murdered a whole bunch of labor organizers in the States for a long time, and then he just got to be Prime Minister of Canada because right time, right place. We could go with John A. Macdonald, who stole like $7.5 million in like this like early 18th century. That was supposed to go towards building a railway, and then ran away with the money, joined a different party, and got elected prime minister again. Like, we have got lots of skeletons in our closet that I don't think we need to go searching through. Like, again, not that it's a good thing. Prime Minister Trudeau shouldn't have dressed up in blackface. I shouldn't have dressed in blackface. I have taken the time to reflect on it and consider, just why it is such a bad idea to do so. I'm sure Justin has occasionally had thoughts that weren't just, my hair is super great. And I hope in those moments he's reflected on whether or not he should ever be in blackface again and why it is such a bad idea. But I don't know. That's
fair. I mean, I may just be channeling my dislike of him as the prime minister.
Well, you are an Albertan, so, the name Trudeau should strike fear into us all, but he hasn't done anything nearly as notable as Pierre Elliott, so... Also, he might be Fidel Castro's kid, so that's also fun.
I mean, I voted for him the first time, and then the second time I voted for a dog.
Oh, that's fair. I tried to vote for the Rhino Party, because...
I wanted to, but I didn't have anyone in my riding.
Yeah, that's fair. The entire idea of a party that is just a joke kind of appeals to me in a lot of ways, but at least they know they're a joke.
Yeah. They're, I don't know. I think all of our federal and provincial parties are all a joke.
Oh, come on. Don't you like the UCP? No one likes the UCP.
No. The UCP doesn't even like the UCP.
They like the access to power it grants them, but other than that, they really don't like each other or their message or what they stand for. They really just want to have power so that they can cronies, I guess. I'm not entirely certain. I can't claim to know their minds, because it certainly doesn't seem like they're having a good time. And the corruption doesn't seem like as much fun as it should. So, a little sad. We haven't talked at all about what I'm painting. I'm painting Fabius Bile. I'm going to go through and give him a variety of skin colors all over the model. So I'm just going to block in a whole bunch of... So on the palette over here, I've got pink flesh tone. I've got, this is scale color Arabic shadow. This is scale color sunny skin tone. No, what is it called? Light skin. There we go. Basic flesh, and then Arabic shadow. So going to be using those. I might go over there and grab just a couple of other colors here in a bit to incorporate in here so that Fabius has got a fabulous cloak. I'm just going to be using these in a variety. So I started off, I guess I should start there. So I started off on the model. This was just straight up pink skin. And then I came in and dropped down not particularly even or intentionally, like a kind of intentionally uneven coat of this is black leather, like a really watered down black leather color. And that's just to sort of bring out some of the stitching and stuff, like some of it being covered up. And the other thing that I'm kind of doing as I'm putting on this base, well, as I'm building up sort of these base color underneath, and why I specifically went with something that was purple, especially for like, I don't know, tone, is somewhat blotchy. Human leather. What up, Sean? The day I keep imagining the burger that's downstairs waiting for me, and I want it in my mouth so bad. But yeah, we're going in just, and I'll go back and forth and sort of make sure that there is, I don't want to say accepting it, but more pronounced blotchiness. I don't know. Does that sound? Do I sound at all coherent?
That makes
Maybe Sean, because Sean's talking to me. If other thing at my, we got it. Pretty obvious orc. I'm also going to put down. I want to put down at least one Tau skin, like an ethereal skin, because that seems like fun to me, right?
some space commies.
Well, I mean like a medium weight color that came out there. You think it was the Emperor or the Inquisition that evaporated the two other chapters or legions that we do not think about?
The Emperor.
I feel like I want to make one of those chapters
STL files for the space.
I might also just do it with bits. Nice. I mean, either way, they would still exist in our version of it, because I mean, he probably wouldn't. He is, after all, the world's worst father. But the universe's worst father?
I do believe that the Big E would probably see the value in having the Tau as allies, though.
Oh yeah, and being able to share tech in like, so you got to think about it. Big E's been around for what, just about 50,000 years by the time. So about 40,000 years by the time of the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, because he was alive all throughout the Age of Strife.
Because he was born before Christ, right? If I remember the lore correctly. Yeah, I'm misremembering that.
Yeah,
but
he's well, because he's not one being.
yeah, he's a perpetual, right?
No, he's not actually. He's something entirely different.
Oh, neat. All right.
John Grammaticus, and there's actually another one who saved Girlyman's life. Those two are the only named perpetuals. Vulcan is actually thought to be perpetual, but the Big E, as long as this canon is still canon, is essentially the spirits of all of Earth's
mightiest heroes.
All of humanity's strongest shaman and psychers and sorcerers. Like one of them.
Well, that's less fun than my Avengers reference.
One of them is essentially like Merlin, and they decide sometime. I can't remember when in the history. It's.
That's all right.
I'd say it's probably around like the beginning of the golden age of technology, or sometime during the golden age of technology, where they basically decide that, hey, all these like all these other psychers are popping up, like to the point where it's too many to train and control, and the warp is coming into reality, which is bad.
Seems bad.
So they essentially cast a spell where the cost of the spell components is them.
Okay.
And then they basically create one being out of like a couple hundred dudes.
That seems like the sort of math that humans would make in the 40K universe. We'd be like, oh man, a couple hundred people, and we get this sweet tech upgrade? Let's do it.
Yeah, so then that's how the Emperor came to be.
Neat.
Yeah, that's something I've read on Lexicanum in a couple different spots, both like about the Emperor and then like on all the stuff about the Unification Wars and the Age of Strife. That is probably by far my favorite era of Warhammer is the Unification Wars.
Totally fair. I can't claim to have a favorite era of 40K yet, or of the Warhammer sci-fi universe, but it is one of those things. We focus up on the actual model camera. Just one of these days. I would love you to actually focus.
Loving the arm.
Yeah, it was just like, hey man, this arm, you want nothing but this arm, and the answer is it's a cool arm and everything, but like we're working here. No, I just feel like at some point in time, even a man as stubborn as the emperor himself would eventually be like, it'd be cool if we had some technologically advanced allies. Like, I've done my best making all this like gene work done, and all of the like spreading of the gospel of me. But like at some point, it'd probably be pretty cool if we actually had some like competent, like technology to go along with this. Because by the time 40K comes around, it's been like 10 millennia since we've had really any technological development, right? If I remember that correctly.
Their technology level during the Great Crusade was way higher than what it is in the current 40K timeline. Like, there's stuff they can't make anymore. Like
which is why it's like a huge deal that like Belisarius Cull has like brought out new bits of Adeptus Mechanica stuff, and like the whole like promise of like having Primaris Marines and all the rest of it, right? Like that's why that's a big deal, right?
Yeah, because they're like, our Astartes boys were perfect, but then we made them cooler suits, so now they're even more perfecter and bigger.
Well, yeah, and nicer to paint, but like that's probably not like the lore reasons for what's happening.
Though there is an actual in like with like the kind of the way the Imperium Man has gone from the Great Crusade to current 40K timeline.
Yeah,
it's very much like an ode to Asimov's Foundation trilogy.
Okay.
Where I don't know how long it's been since you've read them, or if you have read them.
I have definitely read them. I'm gonna say it's been at least 5 years. Maybe it's closer to 10. How old am I? 30. Yeah, I'd say it's been closer to 10 years since the last time that I read them.
So if you remember in the first one,
yeah,
where they describe kind of the downfall of human society into the little pocket kingdoms of essentially what they would call barbarians, because they're
yeah.
Whereas it got to the point where stuff was built to last so long that no one learned how to fix it or create any and build it again, because it was built to last forever. So then when stuff started breaking, there's only a few people who did it, and it kind of created a quasi-religion around technology, which also helped speed up like the degradation of technology in the human universe.
Okay.
And that's kind of how it's gone in 40K.
Makes sense to me.
The use of technology has got so much more ritualized and religious that
it's basically become a cult / magical like shaman show, right? Like that's why we have
exactly
cult Mechanicus. That's why we have like. Go ahead.
Yeah, like they have to like do rituals to appease the machine spirits.
Yeah,
which are essentially limited AI.
Yeah, no, I kind of got where that was like coming from. I didn't really connect it back to the Foundation trilogy, but that's cool. Like that all reads to me like that all seems pretty accurate to where 40K sort of is right now as far as technology and things like why Titan Imperators or like well really any of the Titan wings are so valuable, like because they don't really have the ability to make them anymore. So they worship them.
There are still Forge planets that make Titans, but we're talking like a single Titan a decade kind of production.
Oh yeah.
I mean, a Titan is a walking 40K warship essentially.
Oh yeah, no, it's like a Bastion's fortress slash like, oh yeah, no, it's an insane piece of military kit that would never get built in real life, or we hope would never get built in real life, because it like decimates planets when they make Titans too. Like the resources to make a Titan, from what I remember of reading lore, is just utter insanity. Like it's like tens of thousands of human lives. Like it's not quite as much as like keeping the Emperor's Golden Throne working, but like not far enough off that I would be comfortable with it. We'll put it that way.
And that like they have to basically strip an entire planet down to unusable rock just for all its resources to get enough material to build a Titan.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's like a human resource dilemma of like I think the other one that I read was it's also about like instilling the machine spirit is like a big sacrificial ritual to get a Titan to start up for the first time too. Like maybe I'm misremembering that, but or maybe it was like a Reddit lore post. I don't remember.
That actually, even if that's not correct, that sounds close enough to like actually how it is. I haven't actually read any of the Titan books because I know there are both 30K and 40K novels that are from the point of view of like a princeps, the Titan commander.
Yeah. The only reason why I say this is because it seems to me like the Emperor lives in reality, right? So if he's still is he in the Golden Throne in our version of lore, or is he just wandering around, him and Horus palling about being Luna wolves or whatever? What do you think? Well, and what do you guys think, chat? Should we have the Emperor be alive, or should he be a sarcophagus on forgotten unimportant backwater? Regardless, what do you think, Adam? People can also sound off and chat on it, but
I have no issue with the Emperor still being alive, but kind of.
All right, if
he stepped down as the leader of the Great Crusade after Ulanar, and just goes from being a warlord to actually being an emperor, a facilitator. And Horus is like, cool, thanks, Dad. You go do the job you're actually supposed to do, and I will keep going on. I will ask for help if I need it. Doesn't get all butthurt. Maybe he doesn't chew Logar out for being a religious ninny.
Yeah, I think that if that's the way we want to go with our universe, because I'd be down for it. I think that's a reasonable thing to assume in our own version of this lore. I think that there is also room in that for having, if not like direct campaign allies, at least technological allies, because like the Emperor wanted to work with the Eldar, right?
He was working with the Eldar to build
the human webway.
A human webway that wouldn't interfere with the Eldar webway. Yeah,
so if the Big E has shown himself as willing to work with the Xenos, which is not something that like regular 40K is. I know I'm a heretic or whatever, but like the Emperor showed himself as willing to participate as an ally when it was to his benefit, at very least, right? We can assume that. And if the Tau are really for the greater good, are they not going to look at human beings and be like, oh, that plague is spreading, we should at least like kind of harass it into being a good plague instead of being like just an unthinking, unfeeling, actual viral plague? Like they seem to have, ideas. They're not good ideas, but they seem to have ideas. So maybe we should help shape them as like a new culture to the universe.
Yeah, like the Tau are like, even in canon in 40K, they're a relatively like young race. When they were first discovered, they were still using stone, and then the Tau home system got surrounded by a warp storm. And then when it broke, the Tau were at they were at the Tau as we know it.
Totally fair. I feel like if they're coming out of their block, like if they're coming off the block being like, hey, the greater good and whatnot, part of that is going to be sharing technology with everybody. who can be an ally of theirs. Like they're not going to go to the Tyranids and be like, "Would you like some of our technology biomass?" And they're like, "Nom nom 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 nom."
Yeah.
I don't think that that's what the
Sticks.
yeah. I don't think that that's what the Tau are going to be doing. But like if they see humans about, they're going to be like, "Oh, you guys are just a murderous bunch of weirdos. Maybe you could be murderous bunch of weirdos for our benefit and all, like for the benefit of all, instead of just like being murdery dum-dums." Because the Tau definitely have cooler tech. Like, okay, I know that this is somewhat controversial. I don't know how controversial it is. The Tau have cooler technology than the humans do. Battle suits are inarguably cooler than power armor. I will fight you. I'll be outside as soon as the stream is over. We can bare knuckle box. It's fun.
I mean, I love the idea of Space Marine power armor, but the way that I see it, that battle suits have the upper hand is like with two factors, is how modular they are,
Yes.
and the fact that you don't need to be in a genetically enhanced post-human super soldier to use it.
Yeah. So,
But here's also the thing: a single Space Marine can also stand toe to toe with a battle suit and come out on top more often than you'd think.
in lore.
In lore.
If we're talking about the tabletop version of like a Gostiel or like a Riptide, the Riptide is going to win 100 times out of 100 because like it's just the way it is. It's it's facing off. Like a Riptide is basically going against a Titan as a single man on the tabletop. In lore, yeah, whatever. Lore is stupid, and Space Marines are the greatest in all forms of lore. So
I think a Riptide could take a Titan. Well, it could go against a Knight, but anything larger than a Knight, it'd get massacred.
to be honest with you, I don't know enough about the Knights.
So the Knights are the smallest ones. Then it goes Warhound.
Isn't the Armiger the smallest one now?
Oh yeah, the Armiger is the smallest one now.
Yeah. And then it's Knight, and then it's Warhound, and then it's I don't remember anymore
Reaver?
after that.
Then it's Reaver.
Okay.
And then it's Imperator. And then the last one is the Emperor class one. That's the one that has the entire fortress on its back and launches squadrons of fighters and carries a regiment of Admech Skitari soldiers in its legs because 40k is weird.
I think in the first Horus Heresy book, it also can take like 8,000 Astartes or something like that inside of the Imperator that they land on that silly planet. Maybe it's the second book.
Which planet? The one that Horse gets sick on?
Yes.
I'm not sure because I've only read parts of that book. I haven't actually read all of the second one.
Sorry, not the one where Horus gets sick. The one where he gets assassinated and starts having the hallucinations from Lorgar there.
That's the second one.
That's the second one? All right.
The him being sick is the hallucinations where the
I don't know if they're hallucinations, dream, whatever, storm from bad malevolent forces that were trying to, convert him into chaosy good times. And guess what? He certainly was chaosy good times after that. Just the most chaosy good times. So just to talk a little bit through what I'm painting on here. Our green flesh is just Boreal Forest Green Black Forest Green. I thought I grabbed Boreal. Apparently I grabbed Black Forest Green from Scale Color. And then I'm just slowly lightening that up with Arabic Shadow, and then I'll mix in a little bit of probably Golden Skin into the Arabic Shadow to lighten that up. Just so that we've got some green skins on there. And I'm going to put on some Adriatic Blue as our base coat for we'll see. I like this color. We'll see how if it really shows up as being Tau skin green, Tau skin blue green, Tau skin aqua, ethereal skin.
Yeah,
we'll see whether or not it shows up. there's a little part of me that also wants to go through after this and give him some like a bit that is tattooed somewhere, but we'll see how I feel. He's definitely got a Sororitas head on there that no, I'm gonna keep it on there. He's a weird dude. He's gonna have weird trophies hanging off of his belt. Again, he's Fabius Bile. He's not a good guy. He's not technically a bad guy, right? In our interpretation right now. But like, he's wearing a human skin cloak, well, a sentient being skin cloak, sentient mushroom and human skin cloak,
A sentient cloak.
a cloak of sentience. Oh man, that sounds like a really bad D&D magic item that a DM who hates you gives you. The cloak of sentience.
What's it do? Does it make you smarter? No. It's just sassy and hates you.
It gives you a second inner monologue that is exactly the same as your regular inner monologue. Wait, so they're just overlapping? Oh no, there's like a half-second delay.
Just enough to be noticeable, and just enough to get really under your skin.
Oh yeah, that sounds perfect. Once every 12 rounds, you have to roll for insanity.
Yep. You have like, I don't know how you have like a -5 and disadvantage to stealth because it also like broadcasts your inner monologue.
Ooh.
At like the worst times though. Like, oh, you meet the cute girl in the market or whatever. And then, it's your inner
cloak
monologue
is immediately like, wow, she pretty. Broadcasted. No broadcast. Oh boy. Okay, that sounds like fun to me. Now I want that item. I'm excited. We are getting. Have you booked your second jab?
Not yet. It's 4 weeks exactly on Thursday.
Yeah, it was a day early, so I tried booking it anyways, and it didn't care. It was like, whatever, go for it, Steve Thomas. And I was like, yay! So I'm on July 3rd. I'm getting mine. My second poke. Then I will be able to lick all of the 5G towers and become magnetic. That's what the promise is right now. That's really what I'm looking forward to, is my magnetic powers over brass, non-ferrous, non-magnetic metal. Fine, it's fine. It's totally reasonable. So we're just going to keep blending colors on the cloak here. I might smooth some of this out a little bit. I might not. It kind of depends how I'm feeling about particular spots on the cloak. Again.
Oh, you know what I'm doing, Steve? I'm actually...
Ooh. What are you doing? Oh, you're working on a mini.
I am.
Congratulations, buddy. What are you working on?
I'm working on the non-bike version of what is going to be the chapter master of the Warhawks. For those not in the know, that is my homebrew chapter that I'm building from 2 Indominus boxes, and they are basically just the whites, like the 30k era White Scars by another name.
Fair enough.
Mostly because I'm really obsessed with 30k White Scars. They're super interesting, and I'm really mad at Forge World because they are the only Legion without a Primarch mini.
There's no Jagatech Han at all?
Not from Forge World, no.
That unfortunate. He's one of the cooler characters in 40k? Well, 30k for sure, but yeah.
I mean, he was one of the few Primarchs that called the Emperor on his bullshit immediately and was like, yeah, no, cool, I'll help, but leave me the fuck alone.
This is an entirely
terrible fucking person.
This is an entirely bad plan, and I'm pretty sure that this is just for your own ego.
Yeah, that legit. He was like, no, we need to tell people about the warp. Otherwise,
millions will needlessly die in agony. And he's like,
shit's gonna go wrong if we try and hide this truth from people. Because he was all about, he never kept anything from any of his people, even on his planet, Chagoras.
Yeah.
Or Chogris.
I'm not sure which one of those it is, but it's one of those.
Yeah. Again, if anyone in the comments, shut up, Sean. I am a nerd, and you love it. But yeah, he was
I
basically
don't know
like,
which one of us Sean is calling a nerd, but it's got to be one of these days. It'll be me. One of these days, I'll get to be the nerd.
Yeah, he was like, he was also one of the one of 3 founding Primarchs that helped found the
Don't say Council of Nicaea.
No, he was on the other side of the Council of Nicaea. He was actually one of the 3 Primarchs that founded the Legio Astartes Librarius.
Oh, nice.
One that helped bring in psychic troops to the Astartes legions. The other 2 being Sanguinus and Magnus.
I was going to say, it's got to be Magnus, because Magnus was all upon the sorcery / wizardy / psychery stuff, so...
Yeah.
Which might be why he is my favorite Primarch, even though, you know, not a huge fan of becoming a demon prince. That was kind of a step too far, but he was also just trying to save his people, so maybe not a step far enough, because they're just dust in suits now, so... I mean, we're all just fancy dust in suits, but, like, his people especially.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, that was not... He did remove Airman from the Legion after that. He did not like that. Because he was looking for a way...
No, Airman's still a part of, like... Airman's a greater sorcerer. He is, like, the chapter master in 40k.
Well, like, in the actual lore, he, like, Magnus kicked him out of the... Like, he has, like, his own warband and stuff, but he's not actually, like, a full-on member of the Thousand Sons anymore, kind of like how Fabius Bile isn't really a member of the Emperor's Children anymore. Because
Fabius Bile is fabulous.
When Airman thought that Magnus was taking too long to find a way out from under Tzitz's influence. And then so Airman did the rubric and turned all but the most powerful sorcerers into naught but dust.
Listen, they are super cool. They are Egyptian-y themed, like ancient Egyptian-y themed, not like modern Egyptian-y themed, because that would be cool, but I don't even know what that... Listen, they are... I miss Tomb Kings, and this is the closest I get to, like, having Tomb Kings. Don't tell me Ossiarch Bone Reapers. Anybody who plays as an Ossiarch Bone Reaper, whatever, in chat, Fs. Super Fs. Sorry, Ossiarch Bone Reapers are the new skeleton faction, and...
I hate those things.
They
look stupid.
They do not spark joy.
No. Marie Kondo would eat the fucking shit out of those.
Whoa. That's 2, buddy. That is 2.
Man, sorry.
That is 2 F-bombs. I let the first one go because I was like, all right, he is passionate about how much he loves whatever we were talking about. But, like, we gotta be respectful. This is a family stream for the, like, what, 4 people? I'm assuming 4. How many viewers we got? 3. For all 3 of us.
I mean, to be fair, it's actually only 1. Because one of the viewers on YouTube is me, and the other on the one on Twitch is definitely me.
All right, well.
Again, Sean, shut up. It's hard for me not to swear.
It's okay. It's okay.
I try not to. I mean, it's been a while since I've sworn on stream.
It is. It was about 20 minutes.
I mean, before today.
Oh, okay. All right. You know what we should do to calm us all down from our many swears? We should talk about some news.
It's time for the news.
Indeed. Very news. All right. What do you got first for us, Adam?
All right. First for us, any of those who are early 90s babies or 80s babies, looking at you, Sean, you old guy. I just about swore again there.
It's all right.
But it did not.
You did.
It is.
I'm proud of you.
A Masters of the Universe board game.
Neat. Yeah, there is it looks like there's... So, here's the deal. there is some controversy surrounding this particular game because the publishers for the game about a year ago or so put out two 35 mil scale minis for the game.
Yeah.
They put out Skeletor on the whatever the Skeletor rides, and they put He-Man on Battle Cat. Those don't come in the game, and apparently that is a really good reason to be just super mad at this Kickstarter, I guess. It doesn't seem like a good reason to be mad, but like I accidentally, like I was looking at this and I was like, huh, I wonder what's going on with this project. So I like kind of scrolled through and it's just comments right now, and the comments are not cool. Archon Studios, that's who released the mini. And yeah, oh boy. People are butt hurt. But speaking of butts, those looks like some awesome paint jobs.
Yeah, I'm just looking at them right now. I really like Skeletor's paint job.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Prince Adam / He-Man there is looking pretty swole. Like incredibly swole.
Yeah, like those are like, for what this is, those are good sculpts for a board game.
Yeah, man. I'm also, did you know there's a He-Man movie coming out by Kevin Smith? I think it's a movie.
Series.
Sorry?
TV series.
TV series? Kevin Smith's got an entire TV series coming out? That's amazing.
As far as I know, it's a TV series. It might be kind of like what they did with the Transformers War of Cybertron story, where it's more of like a mini series. So it's like 6 like hour-and-a-half long episodes.
Fair enough. Kevin Smith has done a whole lot of work on the CW. Like he's been working through Supergirl, and I think he was a part of the, if I remember correctly, he was one of the directors that they were using during Flashpoint. I could be wrong about that one, but it seems to make sense that he would have been there because he is pretty into it. So he's got some good TV credits under his name. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of all the CW shows, but it's cool that we're getting a He-Man TV series and that Kevin Smith gets to be a part of it because I like Kevin Smith.
So I think if we're gonna reboot like old sci-fi or fantasy thing, let the nerds do it. I would really like to know.
Oh, and Mark Hamill is Skeletor.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker / the Joker as Skeletor is going to be just. I'm so in. I'm so in. Sorry, I know that isn't about this Kickstarter that's coming up, but we are in a wealth of He-Man related activities here. So
I just got Jamie to watch the 80s Masters of the Universe movie the other week.
Wait, like the actual like movie, like the live action one, or the like
movie one?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jamie. I could have helped that somehow. I feel like I should have helped somehow. I don't even know how I would have helped, but I feel like I should have.
I did full on warn her, like it's not a good movie. It's terrible. It is an absolutely awful movie. It doesn't really
have much to do with the TV show either, because the TV show has like 4 frames of animation. So I've gone back and tried to watch like He-Man and like 70s Hercules and stuff. It's bad.
Yeah, the actually I quite enjoyed the early 2000s He-Man. It's a prequel to the 80s TV show.
Well, all right. I guess I wasn't being enough of a nerd because I didn't even know that existed.
Yep, it's all about how Prince Adam becomes He-Man.
He doesn't just inherently have the power?
No.
What? Been lied to all these years.
He's also a putz.
Well, yeah, that kind of reads. Not gonna lie to you. If I was to run across Prince Adam just like prancing through Eternia, I'd probably be like, that guy's a putz. Look at his ridiculous fashion choices and that bob. Who makes those choices?
Because he completely changes what he looks like when he becomes He-Man. When he's not He-Man, he's just a scrawny blonde-haired kid.
Oh yeah, but he's got like a ridiculous bob going on too. Like just absolutely the weirdest choice of haircut I could possibly think of. When he's not He-Man, when he's He-Man, he's got at least like its shoulder length. When he's Prince Adam, it's like a bowl cut but like slightly longer bangs. Anyway, we've talked about this one enough. Let's go on to the next one. Oh, okay.
You know which one you have slotted for the next?
Oh, sorry. The next one is Traitors. It's Unfathomable. Traitors Above and Below, or Traitors and Terrors. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, this one looked cool.
Yeah.
We've I'm not a huge into board games, but I know you are, and this one tickled my fancy because of the kind of I like stuff on boats, and I like the big creatures from the deep, especially great old ones. Even though I'm not saying that one, the thing in the back is a great old one. That looks like a deep one to me, a gigantic deep one.
Yeah, I'd probably get it more onto the deep one side than the great old one, but continue.
Yeah, it looks fun. It's basically, it's like a murder mystery board game on a ship. And one of you is the hybrid, and the other one's the humans. And you kind of have to survive.
Yeah, so it is a Fantasy Flight Games. It's FFG's Plastic. So this isn't Atomic Mass Studios, which is where Legion and stuff lives in Atomic Mass Studios now. So there is an entire studio that is dedicated to the plastic the plastic tabletop wargaming side of their stuff is now all under Atomic Mass Games, which is just cool. It's fine. They do good work over there. I do really like the Atomic Mass minis, but this is more towards what FFG Plastic used to be as far as production quality goes. And I know that at some point in time, somebody's going to argue that it is better quality than I think it is. It's not. It's gummy bad plastic. It continues to be gummy bad plastic. FFG knows how to make good plastic. They just don't put it on everything because it's expensive to produce. So, I mean, there are more. They did a whole long live stream on the 16th about this game too. So I am excited because I like the aesthetic. I love that sort of age, the early 20th century sort of age of adventure sort of stuff. And putting it in the Cthulhu mythos is neither here nor there for me. Putting it in Arkham Horror, cool. I haven't played enough Arkham Horror to really have much of an opinion on the universe, but copyrightable Cthulhu, I guess. If it's more than that, yeah. I would love to hear from somebody because, as I said, I haven't done a whole lot of diving into Arkham Horror. I know that FFG makes meat out of that particular IP, and I don't see why it's any different than Call of Cthulhu or Octon Cthulhu, both of which are open licensed. So anyway, that's neither here nor there. If somebody wants to give me a Skolin or a Skolden about Arkham Horror, I'd love to hear why I am wrong and why it is cooler than regular old what's his name? No, the actual author. I can't remember his name right now.
Oh, who wrote the Cthulhu mythos?
Yeah.
H.P. Lovecraft.
There we go. Thank you. See, I wanted to say the entire time the guy who invented Scientology, who is L. Ron Hubbard, but I knew that wasn't right either. On to the story of the third.
Story of the third. This one makes me happy.
The game tie-ins must flow. Hang on. Movie tie-ins must flow.
Yeah. I could care less that it's got all the people from the new movie, even though I'm really, really excited for the new movie. I like Dune a lot. And a game for Dune would be sweet. The only Dune game I can think of is a really old, bad, 90s computer game.
Ooh, you know that Dune was actually the first RTS, right? It predates... Dune, the 90s video game that you just called bad, is the reason we have had RTS as a genre ever. It sold something like 1 million copies, and that was what made Command and Conquer happen. Respect your elders. The video game world. Sorry?
I love Command and Conquer. I do respect my video game elders.
I'm just saying that Dune the crappy RTS game from the late 80s is the reason we had RTS as a genre ever.
Give them that. That game still is bad.
Fair enough. There is a reason why, you know, Command and Conquer sold like 8 million units over like 9 games, and we don't have more Dune games. Also, I'm going to say this literally every time I see the new Dune logo. It clearly says Dunk.
Yeah.
Also, there is a board game, a Dune board game that I want to try at some point in time, but it is one of those like, this is going to be 8 hours of playing a board game games, and all of it is going to hurt.
Okay, I would be down for that.
But it is like, it is an early 2000s really, really heavy board game. This seems to be, because there's not a whole lot of detail here on what exactly is going on. It seems to be a story-driven card game, unequal factions. I tried to dig a little further into this, but I didn't have a whole lot of success because there's just not a huge amount of news about this yet. Hey, if I'm wrong, let me know, but I couldn't find much out there for
if anyone has more information on this, please email us,
because this is yeah, most of this has come out. Like the release was announced on June the 10th, which was last week, and I went through all this stuff. I don't know Detective that well, so I know it's a story-driven card game, but like I don't know enough of the mechanics on this. Nobody has put out a review or a preview of it yet, so like we'll see. I mean, it looks cool, and I like Dune, so the spice must flow, or the movie tie-ins must flow, as is definitely the case here. This is definitely 100% a movie tie-in game. So.
Like I saw Dune and I was like, cool. The new movie cast, I will save whether or not they are this good casting or not until I actually watch the movie, because it's hard to tell from.
I mean, I would never have thought that Patrick Stewart would make an excellent Swordmaster of House Atreides, whose name I'm forgetting right now.
That's not Gurney.
No.
Duncan, Idaho.
No, it's not Duncan, Idaho either. He's Paul Atreides' dad. Is he? I forget. I haven't watched that movie in a long time.
The Swordmaster. No, Patrick Stewart's Duncan, Idaho. He's Duncan, Idaho. I do know that much. He is the Weapon Master of House Atreides.
Weapon Master of House Atreides. That's what it is. Because I don't normally look at Patrick Stewart and I'm like, ravish me with your many weapons. It's normally like, let me lick your bald head, but I don't know.
Yeah. Also, fun Dune fact for those who don't know a lot about it. Duncan, Idaho is said to be one of the only warriors capable of killing one of the Emperor's Sardaukar in personal combat. And throughout like the Dune trilogy, he kills hundreds of them by himself.
Well, he is a gigantic badass, so.
Yeah. The fact that people are like, oh, they cast Jason Momoa as that's not cool. It's like, really? Because Duncan, Idaho is described as swarthy, buff, and tall. That is Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa can also ravish me. I'm not even gay. He's just a beautiful man. I say this wistfully. It's like he's got big arms. So powerful.
And like, I've watched interviews with him. He's such a nice dude.
Right? That's the other thing. He's just an incredibly nice man. Him and Henry Cavill really seem to have gotten the short end of the straw from the Snyder universe. I mean, I feel bad for Ben Affleck in all things because he's Ben Affleck and still has to keep his own horrible company the rest of the time. But like, between the two of them, I feel bad. I'm a little sad they'll never actually get. Well, I guess we are getting another Aquaman movie, but I don't think that Henry's going to get to play Superman again, which is unfortunate.
He was a good Superman, and I also really enjoy Jason Momoa as Aquaman.
Yeah,
he makes a good modernized Aquaman. And for those who don't know, Aquaman has changed drastically since.
He's not just a man who talks to fish.
No, he's not just the man who talks to fish from Super Friends. In the late 90s, they revamped his story, and it is on par, brutal and dark, with Batman's.
Yeah, it's changed a whole bunch of times because like the new 52 also gave him a new origin story. He's gotten a new origin story in one.
What I'm thinking of is the one where he cuts his own hand off.
Oh yeah, that's one. So um unlike the Marvel universe where we just make tangential I don't know who I'm explaining this to. I guess I'm explaining it to you. Unlike the Marvel universe where we split into tangential, like, you know, the Ultimates universe versus Incredible Spider-Man versus Spider-Man, well, Spider-Man, Stupendous Spider-Man, all of the, like, we just add titles, right, where we want to add new content. DC just reboots the universe once every 10 years. Let's get to our fourth piece of news. Let's talk about that one before we go on.
You had something you want to say about this one.
I have lots of things I want to say about this one. Why don't we talk about the actual minis first, and then I'll say my piece. How about that?
Hey.
So this is
I'm a big fan of Victoria Miniatures. I don't have any of their stuff, but I really like the look of their minis, and they're good. Like I don't want to say a small company, but compared to like guys like Warlord and Games Workshop, they're small, and they also do, from what I can tell, a pretty good job at multi-part plastics.
Yeah, it looks like, well, I don't know. Is this plastic or is this resin cast? Plastic cast. There you go. Huh. Yeah. I'd be interested to see what their plastic looks like. There's little casting flaws, but it could also just be how the camera looks and what they've photoshopped on this, because like gun barrels seem a little wonky, but they look really cool. I like all the poses. There's tons of great detail around the face. They look like they're actually modeled as opposed to like 3D modeled and then like all the rest of it. So it just looks like they're running on a slightly different process than what we're running on with like Warlord and Privateer Press and all the rest of it, which there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I appreciate that they actually have some cool looking dudes that are not, they don't look like they're trying to be GW dudes. Like, those faces definitely don't look like they're trying to be GW faces, because GW faces are very distinctively GW faces. Oh, yes. But everything else looks super cool. Like, I mean, for being a bunch of, I don't know, for being a bunch of guardsmen, they look cool. I think.
And for those of you who are in the know about a certain unit in the guard, considered to be very elite, which is saying a lot for the guard, because that's literally cannon fodder. Like, to be a unit in the guard and not be considered cannon fodder is pretty impressive. And these are basically a nicer way to build yourself some more Gaunt's Ghosts.
Yeah, so Gaunt's Ghosts went up for pre-order on Saturday. So let's
really want them.
Let's take a look here at the difference. So this is our Borderlands Border World Rangers from Victoria Miniatures. It's 10 models. There's multi poses. Like, it looks like some good quality, you know, modeling went on. We have a bunch of different weapon varieties. Neato. 10 for $50 US.
That's reasonable.
Yep. This is 6 models
for $80.
For $80. Now, Canadian versus American. Okay, we're still at whatever it was, $65, I think it went up for pre-order in the States. These models are incredible. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to knock GW for the quality of these models. They are really cool. But this is, in the end, it's an HQ choice for Astra Militarum.
Because they're a command squad.
They're a command squad and bodyguards, right? Like, it's not quite troopers, but like,
you know, because these are also some of the bigger named characters in Gaunt's Ghosts that got made into dudes.
Totally fair. It's $13 per mini for Guard HQ. I don't want to go through the rest of Guard and like nitpick on pricing, but like, that's kind of getting ridiculous. Like, I don't know. And don't get me wrong, I'm not just complaining about GW pricing. Like, I get how expensive it is to R&D these models and all the rest of it. I get it. But like, also, why isn't it 10? You could have put 2 more guardsmen, or like 4 more guardsmen in there. You can make the command squad a 10-person command squad.
I am currently reading the first Gaunt's Ghost omnibus.
All right. Is there a lore reason why we can't have 10 ghosts for $80?
Not so far, but I mean, there was only so many of the Tanith first and only.
That's fine. I'm being grumpy old man yells at cloud right now. I get that, but like,
no, I get it. I'm fully on your side on this one, Steve. I want more minis. But that being said, with the Victoria minis, I feel like you could make an entire IG force to be the Tanith first and only. With the Border World Rangers and then the actual Gaunt's Ghost box.
Oh yeah, no, I think that there's lots of potential in both boxes. Don't get me wrong. Hang on, I want to look for just a second. They show the sprues. They do. Yeah, they're all the new posing. So, keyed posing is great in some ways and a giant pain in the butt in others. I want to show you what I'm talking about when I talk about keyed posing. So, I'm gonna swap back to our regular. Okay.
No worries.
This is a Space Marine lieutenant, right? Or the back of a Space Marine lieutenant because his front has been cut into many pieces. Thank you for actually going into focus eventually. So this character only fits together one way, right? I can't have, I can't move his arm. I can't repose basically any of this because of how it was designed to fit together. And this is keyed posing. The arms only fit in one way because I have to have the front of the helmet, which also has the chest piece or had the chest piece on it. Like that was all one piece on the front of this model. I can't do anything with this model other than assemble it in the pose that they gave it to me or hack it into tiny little bits and rebuild it with another intercessor kit, right? Like he's just a intercessor lieutenant, like he's nothing special, but in order to actually do anything to him, I either can't use the cool $40 dude who actually has a power sword, or I have to, have at least 2 kits to hack him into something. It makes me mad. Yes, they could get more dynamic posing out of the dudes. They can put more details in the models, all the rest of it. It's just, I don't know. I guess that's why I kind of appreciate the Victoria miniatures stuff, because you can still actually like customize that stuff without it being intentionally a pain in the butt. Yes, it is slightly easier for, your first 100 models or so to assemble the keyed pose stuff. But like the second that you want to do anything interesting with posing or, even just like a weapon swap, US Open rules came out last week and everything is WYSIWYG, right? Like you have to, what you see is what you get. You have to be playing with the correctly modeled model. We also just got the no more 3D printed bits. If we suspect that you have 3D printed bits, you forfeit your match. Like GW, I get that you're protecting the IP that like protects your entire $1 billion company, but like, if you're going to key post things and make it so I can't even have like a power sword off of a lieutenant, one power sword off of a lieutenant, and I'm not allowed to 3D print anything, yeah, I'm going to go to casters like Victoria Minis or Pop Goes the Monkey or whoever and get those bits. Yep. And never come to your stupid tournaments because it's just using the tournament rules to sell more models is just sort of evil. Just sort of evil. Especially, yeah. Anyway, I'll hop off my soapbox here for a moment. I got all riled up about miniatures. Since I'm gonna paint this Fabius dude.
It's totally fair. Like, I wish G-Dub would just leave the 3D modelers alone. I understand what they're doing. Do I like it? No. Do I get it? Yes.
I mean, they lost a huge number of lawsuits about people being able to create new bits, like create custom bits. So what do? They say you can only even bits now. No 3D printed stuff, no outside casts. Has to be BGW bits or something you cast yourself. For tournaments. Not for like painting competitions, not for, like for Golden Demon or for, like this is for played tournaments where you have to show up WYSIWYG. Just I don't know, it feels greedy. Feels greedy to me. Feels bad, man.
It does. Very, very much so.
That's all right, because we're gonna paint our Fabius Bile, and he's gonna go on a cool display that I am still sort of cooking. Haven't quite gotten to what exactly the display is gonna look like yet, but I know for certain we're gonna have a submerged man and goo scenario going on. And when I say man and goo scenario, I'm definitely talking like Luke Skywalker in the like Bacta tank on Hoth kind of a deal. And Fabius Bile being all like, yeah, I made that Marine because I feel like he's... You feel like he's a Southerner? I feel like every time I say Space Marine, because I automatically, like, I have a dual association. So I have like the 40k Space Marine, but the other side of it is always space truckers from StarCraft, where it's just a bunch of Confederates and like a bunch of space Southerners. I don't know if that's an appropriate title for them, but that's really what they are. They're just a bunch of rednecks in space. Like, saying this as somebody who is like an Albertan, and I'm not trying to mock redneck culture. I'm just saying they're a bunch of like weird space truckers with Confederate flags in their crap. They even call themselves the Confederacy of Man. Like, couldn't get any more allegory to the south than that.
Yeah, they are.
I'm gonna assume Fabius Bile is a Southern gentleman then.
Yeah, I'd say that's a fair assumption. Someone once did make a redneck Space Marine chapter. I can't remember what they were called. But they all wore cowboy hats that he'd modeled on them.
Seems fair to me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you.
It was cool.
Oh yeah, I mean the custom Space Marine chapter that I am never ever going to complete is the one that I want to do is entirely modeled off of the aesthetic of the River Tribe from Wakanda. So, if you go back, the River Tribe in let's go with Infinity War. So the River Tribe in Infinity War is the guys that have like the blue blankets that are also energy shields.
Yes.
That is his best friend, not the one there, not the white gorillas, but his actual like male best friend, or Black Panther's male best friend, is the leader of the River Tribe. So that is River Tribe. They are like blue and silver and red and a lot of detail. I have 3 Reapers done for them, or 3 Reavers done. They take about 10 hours each to paint. So it is not a quick process, we'll put it that way. So it's one of those things that I may never actually complete that entire squad even. Who knows? I have lots of base coating done on them, but like no, I have 1 completed model. So no, 3 completed models. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that I finished 3 of them. Now I want to go back and look, but neither here nor there right now. So we're going to continue to get base coats on Fabius's human skin cloak, this sentience cloak. What do we call it? Was it the sentient cloak that we called it before?
The sentient cloak.
Because it's made of a bunch of sentient species. Okay, now I remember our discussions here. So just continuing to get... So the big thing that I'm doing is I'm always sort of cross-mixing into one of 2 colors. So even on our orc skin here, I'm still using Arabic flesh and golden skin. Arabic shadow and golden skin as what we're using to lighten that green with. And I'm sort of keeping to that all the way around. I'm using golden skin. I'll come back probably one more time with light skin at the end of all this, just so that it's unified in a way, so that it all looks like it's got like a sort of skin tone to it. We'll use the probably in a little bit here. We'll start getting to picking out some more of the detail parts and talking about how I want to approach things like stitching and stuff on the model. But what do we think, Adam? Is that ethereal skin? If just underneath the sororitas head there, is that looking, or is that a little too? Does it need to be a little bit more desaturated?
I think it needs to be a little bit more desaturated. Like they are kind of like a bluey teal, but it's very pale.
All right. We'll get our ethereal skin right here at some point in time. Our Tau skin. Yeah, I agree with you. It is a little too saturated, but I like having second opinions on this sort of stuff. But as we're slowly blocking out more and more of the actual volumes of the cloak, you guys can see how that's starting to come together. We'll continue that in just a few minutes here, but right now I am super hungry. I need to pee. And it is 1,000 degrees in this room, so I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be back in, let's say 15 minutes, because I like to mow through a burger. So I'm going to give myself a couple extra minutes tonight. In the meantime, we're going to put up a slideshow. If you want to contribute to the slideshow, you're always welcome. You can just hit me up in the DMs. Just send me a message. I am at Choice Minis on Instagram, so you can pop in, slide in the DMs. Let me know on there if you'd like to be included. I'd love to include your artwork on here. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at Choice Minis on Instagram. You can follow Adam beach_vacation_Mendo on Insta. You can follow Sean. Sean, put your Insta in chat. We'll be back in about 15 minutes. Peace. What up, everybody? We are back. I am Choice Mini Steve Thomas. We are back to painting Fabius Bile. Have some chat for Adam because I'm pretty sure his Discord. Oh, is he back?
Am I back? Can you hear
you're
me?
back.
Yeah.
Look at you go. Congratulations on returning to the land of the living. We can hold our Fs for Adam here for a few minutes.
Sometimes it is Discord's a huge pain.
Yeah,
basically, so what happened is it's while we were on break, I left the room, and Discord decided that it was going to switch my audio output to my headset, or from my headset to the monitor.
Okay.
But then have my voice input be off of my webcam.
Neat.
Yeah.
Super useful. Thanks, Discord. We love you for your many ways of superseding your settings determined by Windows, because it does the same thing to me every once in a while where it decides, yeah, I know that you've set it up this way in Windows, that you have it this way specifically so that you can talk, the way you want to. But what if instead of doing that, I just did whatever I felt like?
Yeah. Also, you want it to be like this, but what if we did this?
What if we did it in an entirely different way that only I can fathom right now?
Yeah. And it's not like it tells you it's doing it, it just happens.
That's fair. I wonder if there's somewhere there's got to be a Discord setting that says don't allow this to change anything ever. Actually, I've got that set in Windows, and it still does it every once in a while, because...
Yeah. It doesn't happen as much with me after I uninstalled and then reinstalled, or after Discord's last major update. It's been happening less. That's the first time it's happened to me in a bit.
Fair. That is fair. So again, we're still working our way around Mr. Fabulous, Fabius Bile here. So good news is that we are coming to the end of several long-term projects for me in work. And along with those, I get payout for my end of project bonuses, since we are hitting on time and on budget on them. You know what I'm buying? A new camera.
Nice.
Yeah, I should go talk to Jamie and get a camera picked out and whatnot, but I would like something a little bit faster on the auto zoom than what we're playing with right now. Just, I really appreciate this camera. This is a camera I'm borrowing from a roommate of mine. I really do appreciate having a camera at all, because otherwise I still wouldn't. Because the camera I was originally going to use for streaming still isn't in stock in North America. You've been able to buy it a couple of times. If I was only willing to buy it, pay for it in yuan, and then have it shipped over after paying more than the purchase price in America, and have it shipped over from Hong Kong, which
that
wasn't going to do. Yeah, well, it was it's the only place online that I've actually found to buy that camera that I still desperately want. If anybody has a good hookup on how to get a hold of an E2C, I've been on B&H's waitlist for that camera body for like well over 8 months now, and it's just never come back into stock. Or if it has come into stock, I don't think it actually has come into stock, but if it has, it didn't give me the stock notification from B&H, and so I never actually got the camera. I mean, I got cash for it. I wanted a specific camera, and it hasn't been in stock in nearly a year.
The camera store is having issues getting stock of that one.
Camera store, it's only BizTech that carries it, so unfortunately, in Canada, it's only BizTech that's allowed to carry them. So, yep, wop wop. But regardless, be nice to have a slightly faster autofocus and more accurate autofocus, because I mean, this is also a lens issue. We're using a very shallow focus lens, so
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of funny when it just was like, you know what? I'm not going to focus on the thing closer to me. I'm going to focus on the arm laying on the table.
Oh yeah, no, it's been doing it on and off all stream where it just like it's like, hey, you know what you really want to look at? And I'm like, is it the table underneath of the thing I'm clearly holding? And it's like, it's the table underneath the thing you're clearly holding. Like right now.
More people want to see that table.
Yeah, everybody's mad for table. Everybody loves table.
Oh, so remember on Thursday how I said I misplaced my graph bike?
Yep.
Found it.
Nice. That's good.
When I was looking, I was digging through my my desk essentially just to find a. I thought I had a USB-C to USB 3 switch.
Yeah.
I did not.
Okay.
It was a USB-C into USB 1 port, so it was a female port. It was a double female. I wanted a female male port. And I don't have one, but I think actually one of my monitors does have some USB-C ports I can use.
Neat.
Yeah, it's just for essentially it's basically just like another. This gives me more options of stuff to plug into.
Fair enough.
Sort of.
I have. At some point, I feel like I should post a photo of the setup that actually is my desk because it's relative insanity. There is right now. Here is the camera. Oops, as I poke the camera instead of pointing at it. Here is the camera. The mic is slightly off to its right. There are 2,000 lumen lamps, one on either side, that are shining on the surface to try and get me enough light to get the autofocus to cooperate. Then there are two monitors, two 27-inch monitors that are in landscape right now. They're BenQ something or others. It's a match pair of 99% sRGB monitors that I use because I do a lot of color space work, film grading and whatnot, because that's part of my job on occasion. I shouldn't say a lot. I do some of that as like basically I need to have color accurate monitors, and I've paid a lot of money for decent 4K ones. And then there is a giant 55-inch 4K TV that is currently where the stream lives. It's up there, be in the stream. Just, I don't know, pretty close to 8 feet up there. At some point in time, I can share that with everybody. And then there is just a Microsoft webcam that is over here playing palette cam good times. Yeah, it's quite the setup. I mean, it is a relatively impressive piece of technology. Just at the core of it, I would like to make some improvements to our camera because it's a really nice camera and everything. It's just that I am using the wrong body lens combination to be doing what we're doing here, and I would like to make some improvements to that because I feel like it would be helpful to everybody if I was able to keep the Mini on stream, and B, keep it in focus. Because right now we're working.
My Atlanta.
What's that?
I don't know how much you enjoy the live action Transformers. I really only enjoy the one Bayverse one, but I really enjoyed Bumblebee.
I still haven't seen Bumblebee. Been burned too many times.
That's fair. That's fair. I threw it on as a hangover movie, like I'm gonna fall asleep to this because it won't matter, and ended up staying awake to watch the whole thing.
Neat.
It's pretty good. Bumblebee's actually a beetle. There's a little cameo at the end of Optimus Prime, and he's just a red, flat-nosed semi. No flames, no chrome. Doesn't look stupid. Looks pretty good. But they just announced Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah, wasn't that earlier today that they announced that?
Yeah, that was this afternoon, and it sounds like it's going to be a live-action intro to Beast Wars.
Neat.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. But I do have a a boggle for you, Steve.
Oh,
How much do you know about like Fey creatures?
depends on what version of the Fae we're talking about, but go on.
So, one of my coworkers and I have been um contemplating the nature of one of our other coworkers who
Okay.
seems to be like purely an agent of chaos, like just a being of total chaos.
Okay.
Um, like the dude, like he doesn't drink, but seems like a guy who like loves to go and drink. Doesn't drink, doesn't like the taste of alcohol, also has a heart murmur. So he's like, yeah, if I get like drunk, there's a chance I could just die. And I was like, that sucks. He likes to smoke a bunch of weed and cigarettes. He's a really cool dude, super nice, but
Mhm.
like he does a lot of Fey-like things. Um, not so I wouldn't say malicious, more like as like a peer trickster, like puckish.
Okay.
Um, so what are some of the things we were discussing?
That's totally fair. I have met
There's there
many
are
people in
times
my
where
life
he's
where I'm like, you're a Phelan creature and have shown up here just to vex me. I haven't
yeah
always
he,
been right about those people, but I feel like that's definitely a thing. There is definitely a personality type where you're like, oh, you're somewhere between lucky idiot and like just completely unaware of yourself. I see. That's cool.
yeah I can think of three distinct times where I was working off on my own on site. Uh, closest people to me were probably half a kilometer away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was totally on my own, just, doing my task. And then I turned around and he's just standing behind me, grinning like an idiot. Like, hey, I snuck up on you. I did really good. I used my magics.
Okay.
We also realized the other day we've never seen his eyes. He always wears I don't want. They're not mirrored sunglasses, but they're like pitch black. Like even when the light shines directly on them, you can't see through the sunglasses.
Okay.
What else?
Check to make sure that his eyes aren't entirely blue, that he's not using some sort of glamour on you. Right now, I've decided that he is from. I don't know. Have you ever read Wise Man's Fear? The King Killer Chronicles? Name of the Wind? I know they're fantasy novels, so it's not necessarily up your like stack,
No,
but
I do. I have heard of them. I just have never actually read them. So I
so
do have a stack. Like there are fantasy novels I do plan on reading. Some of the more harmless ones, I would rather not run into a red cap ever.
yeah, I gotta say that of the like variety of failing creatures, my favorite remains the fairy dragons, but that's because I have a super soft spot for dragons. And the idea of a tiny dragon that has like dragonfly like colors is just so super cute to me. And the fact that they're little like trickster buttheads is really like endearing to me. I'm like, oh, it's my spirit animal. It's the thing I wish I could have as a pet. Like IRL, other than my two beautiful dogs who are definitely uh, laying down somewhere dying slowly from the heat.
Yeah, if I could assign uh my coworker a D&D 5e alignment, he would definitely be chaotic neutral.
Okay. I don't know. I've met people who are more on the chaotic side, but I don't know that I've ever. I mean, I've ascribed it to a few people. I don't know that I've ever met anybody who would really be of that sort of persuasion. I guess I don't know. I'm not sure I've met anybody in real life who, outside of me making jokes about it, is actually a failing creature. Like, it wouldn't surprise me that there would be like people who definitely fit that stereotype.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna, see how he feels about some silver.
Okay.
I do have a silver coin in my wallet.
You know, I had
Uh,
a silver coin forever. Like For
I
like,
have a silver 50-cent piece.
oh, I had an American $1 coin from the first time I
Oh,
went to
nice,
Vegas, but it
nice.
was like a mid 20s. Like I want to say it was a 26 or 27 or something like that. So it was heavy silver. Like, um, but I think I lost it in a car accident at one point. I think that's when I lost it, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I carry a Canadian silver 50-cent piece, or like not like it's not like pure silver. It's you know,
The 50-cent piece is mostly nickel now, if I remember correctly.
yeah, I did. My dad did look it up for me.
That's fair. We got one of
Because
the
he saw it in my wallet. And he was like, "Hey, some of those are silver. Let me look at like the number on that one." And it's it was one of the last runs that was done, like not like partial, like a silver nickel mix, whatever the hell it was before. They just were like, "Hey, nickel looks pretty much the same." Did the
yeah.
labeling.
There's so for Canadian currency, this is a weird thing. So on we were slowly phasing out silver, like for a long time, because silver was more expensive than the printed, denomination of the coin. So people were melting down coins because, of course, they were
Yeah.
like. But in 1967, not all of the circulation, most of the circulation coin that went out that year is some high percentage silver. So when I say high percentage silver, I'm not talking like sterling silver or something like that. I'm talking about like mid tens percent silver. Um,
Yeah, it's not a very high percentage of silver, but
no, but
now
like
it's
now it's
0%.
like 0%, and 67 was the last year that they did that for most coins. So if you ever find stuff pre 67, which is the 100th anniversary of the unification of Upper and Lower Canada, creating Canada, yeah, if you find coins from that era, and it's pretty easy because they are all weirder than our normal like currency is. Like, um, the dime is a dove. The what is the nickel? It's something weird. Like it's not a beaver or anything.
Oh, that was when the nickel had
Had two bees on it. No, now I'm quoting The Simpsons, but it
when
definitely
it
was.
had flat edges,
Um.
like loony sized flat edges, I believe.
Oh, there was a period of time where that was a thing in the 40s.
Yeah.
But no, those ones they are knurled edges, so they are the like regular edging on the coin, but the like animals and stuff are all very different, and it's pretty. They actually rust, so they do oxidize. Well, not rust, they oxidize. So they will turn black given long enough periods of time, and are generally darker than their other like more nickel heavy alloy ones. At any rate, fun story short, if you want to mine a whole bunch of silver, flipping through your coins isn't a bad place in Canada as long as you can find something from the 60s still, which getting harder every day because, the 60s were 60 years ago.
Yep.
It's fine.
Um,
1980 was only 20 years ago, right?
it was 1980 was only 20 years ago.
I remember 1987. I wasn't alive in 1980, so I can't really say much.
Yeah, neither was I. I wasn't alive till 87, so
That's fair. I remember the 88 Olympics, so it's fun. That's right.
was still pooping in my britches.
Oh, I was probably still pooping in my britches too, but like I remember distinctly, uh, my dad worked in oil and gas at that point in time, and I definitely remember getting like, um, we got replica torches that were candles and stuff like that, and I remember going to not Princess Island, oh, the one that's right across the street from City Hall,
Oh, Olympic Plaza.
the Olympic Plaza. I remember going to Olympic Plaza and stuff during the '88 Olympics, so. Like
That's where
there
you
are
go to get street preachers now.
well, not right now because he's in prison. But
There's another one.
I thought they had gotten rid of the one who was always out there and is just the worst.
Um, the new one is less preachy, more like outdoor soup kitcheny.
Oh yeah, no, those guys have been around for years. The one that everybody hates, who is the worst and is currently in prison, is just a he needs desperately he needs help and attention desperately, and instead of receiving or seeking out positive attention, he is reinforced heavily by negative stimuli, and it's pretty unfortunate because he needs help in a way that is not coming to him by getting tackled to the ground by the police on a consistent basis. Not to say that it's the police's fault. The guy's a jerk, but like also
the guy is a racist, homophobic, like.
Oh yeah, no, he is.
Anything that is good and pure in the world, this man hates.
And will yell it loudly at you through a bullhorn while surrounded by a variety of burly-looking people who aren't the Proud Boys anymore. Because if they were the Proud Boys, the 80s was great. They aren't the Proud Boys anymore because we claim the Proud Boys are a terrorist organization, but they're the Proud Boys. They just changed their name.
I remember going to the anti-racist rally. That was the counter rally to the Aryan Guard.
Oh man, I remember those guys.
They super sucked. I remember, like, because the police were forming a mobile barricade with their bikes. I remember marching down Stephen Ave and like clearing out construction sites. We're like, what are you guys marching for? We're marching against Nazis. And they were like, F the Nazis. And we're like, that's what we've been saying. And the foreman's like, all right, boys, we're gonna go beat up some Nazis.
That's fair. Everybody should punch a Nazi. If you see
everyone should punch a Nazi.
I mean, I'm not going to necessarily condone violence, but
is punching a Nazi really violence, or is it just picking up the trash?
I feel like we could make a strong argument for taking out the trash.
Yes. But anyway, that was that was not fun. But the good thing is, the next year, you know how many of the Nazis showed up?
One.
It was one dude.
Good.
He was there for 5 minutes and left.
Excellent choice.
Yep.
Maybe all the rest of them just decided to stop being? No, they don't. They just go and don't hang out in public because...
Yeah, or they moved to a different city and started all over again.
Yeah. Publicly shaming Nazis. Publicly shaming Nazis is a good plan. Also, you know what we should do? It's on 2+.
Oh, we should do hits on 2+. I'm really excited about mine because it's actually an image of something that I have talked a lot about on stream.
All right, let's bring yours up here.
And for those who are watching and want to follow along, I think our links are old links. At least the news links were. I'm not sure about hits on 2+.
It should be the new links. I'll go in and change those afterwards.
They are the old links.
Neat. Cool.
But yeah, anyway. It's pretty easy to find.
I'll repost the description when this goes up to the VOD channels. So if you find this later on YouTube, they will be corrected because they were definitely always correct. But I'm trying to make it out like they were. I don't know why I'm whispering.
Because if you whisper, then it's a secret, and then other people won't know.
Oh, yeah, except for like I'm whispering directly into your ear because we're both wearing headphones. So yeah, you can definitely hear me. Anyway, I will fix the links in the description here once we are no longer online because it's really hard to do while we are streaming, but it is much easier to do once we are no longer streaming.
So this is George Abelayan. If you watch this, George, please correct me on the pronunciation of your last name.
Or don't. Just mock him. Or be sad.
Or just mock me. Or please don't be sad.
Oh, okay. Don't be sad. Adam says, "Don't be sad, George."
Those who have watched previous streams, this is a Quark in scale. If you notice, those are Necron Immortal in front of them, and they come up to about mid-thigh. Not, but actually, yeah, I'd say mid-thigh.
That seems too large.
Yeah.
Not as in like, oh, that's out of scale according to lore or something. No, that just genuinely seems like too big of a thing. Like it should be smaller. I would like it to be smaller. Adam, make it smaller.
I can't make Quark smaller, Steve. They're 15-meter tall, hyper-intelligent orcs, okay? With psychic powers. All
they
of
have
them.
Psychic powers and are 15 meters tall? This seems... Did they just turn them all into Stompas? Or, like, what happened?
No.
How did the orcs not already own the entire galaxy?
It was blame the Eldar.
Oh, okay.
Once the Necron were defeated, the Eldar basically use their vast psychic powers as an entire race, being, in 40K, aside from like the hive mind being the most psychically powered race.
Okay.
And yeah, they kind of forced the Quark to sort of devolve.
Okay, well, I'm okay with that.
And eventually become what we now know as the 40K orc. Though there are instances, there is a theory that we might be seeing another.
Tell me these things aren't coming back.
Yeah. It'll take a bit. We'll probably go through prime orcs and beast scale orcs first. So prime orcs are basically
Orc Primarchs?
Yeah, they're Primarch-sized orcs. They're hyper intelligent. They have armor that is on par with like Primarch armor. So damn near indestructible. They shoot some sort of weird beam weapon and also have a monomolecular blade attached to their one arms usually, or it's been described as like a glaive-like polearm at times.
Okay.
And so for those that don't know what that means, it's a knife that cuts things so fine it divides molecules in the process, or like cuts them at the molecular bonds, because 40K science says that's how it works.
40K science is wrong generally, and this is no exception to that rule. So don't go to your like teachers and be like, "Hey, the man on the internet said that 40K is wrong." That's what the man on the internet said.
Yeah, 40K is wrong, generally is. But yeah, so then after Prime Orcs, it is Beast level orcs. So
is this like colossal?
Okay,
I was gonna say, is this like colossal squig size?
No. Quarks being the biggest at 15 meters.
Okay.
So they kind of like Quark, Beast scale, Prime Orc, War Boss, Knob, Boys, Wretched. So Beast scale orcs, they'd still be.
You left off Snotlings.
I did leave off Snotlings. Gazkul Thraka, despite being called the Beast, is not a Beast scale orc. He is closer to probably reaching Prime Orc level. Mostly, I say that mostly because his level of intelligence and the technology he himself and his immediate bodyguard field is still standard orc tech. Whereas the previous encounters with Prime Orcs and B-scale orcs, their clans or warbands are generally using, I would say, Imperial equivalent level technology.
Whoa, are you going to tell me that a Shuda is not equivalent to a flashlight?
Think more Space Marine equivalent level technology.
Are you going to tell me that a Shuda isn't the same as, I don't know, an old bolt gun? Because they literally had the same stats.
Yeah.
I mean, it's dumb, but a tactical squad had about the same amount. You could shoot more with with a shooter, but you could shoot better with the old tactical marine, yieldy tactical marine bolt rifle. Well, not bolt rifle, bolt gun. Bolt rifles is a more recent development.
Yes.
Along with our Mark
Bolt
X
guns are
Matter.
now relegated to the carbine role.
Yeah, bolt guns are now kind of out.
Yeah,
We haven't really talked about this, but like at some point we will have a death to all firstborns because GW is no longer stocking them in GW stores. So, a good sign that they're going away.
Yeah. I really enjoy. I mean, despite like this is my we did talk a lot about Cork, but I actually really enjoy George's art style. It does take me back to it's very reminiscent of how Warhammer art looked when I first got into the hobby when I was 12.
Fair enough. It is. They are beautiful paintings. Like, and I will give them every kudos. Like, they are absolutely beautiful paintings. I do love the helmet, but I gotta say, I gotta give it. I am more partial to the helmetless Cork.
Yeah, I love the helmet, but I love the close up of the Cork face. You can definitely see the intelligence on that face compared to he has another one, a couple photos down of what current orcs look like. It's right below the Necron.
Are you on? Oh, okay, we can go to his channel. Hang on. There you go.
I just clicked on it and just kind of scrolled through. Yeah, it's right under the Necron. That is a current orc now. Yeah, so that is straight up just complete savagery, and
it's a little derpy.
Yeah, and then the Cork, like that is a more like that, still has the giant tusks, the kind of pointy ears, and the whole like he still looks like an orc, but he looks more civilized. Like you can see the difference.
Like there is a light on upstairs, and it's not just kill, bash, and shoot.
Yeah, it like yeah. I mean, if you go to like the close up one, you can actually see what looks like psychic energy spilling from his eyes.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because for some reason in 40K, whenever it's describing someone using psychic powers, like anyone from like any faction aside from the Tau, because they don't get to do that. Basically, it always seems like it manifests in the eyes first.
Totally fair. I haven't read enough lore to say or disprove, but I gotta say I've seen a lot of glowy-eyed minis, and that would lead me to believe that that's probably come up in lore at least once.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like Cork. I really like this guy's art. I love that someone finally put pen to paper and painted what he thinks Cork would look like. And I, having read every piece of Cork lore that is out there, I'm pretty happy with his interpretation of how they look.
Totally fair. We're gonna swap it over to my hit. Oh my god, or maybe I won't. There we go. So this is our friend, Blinded by Daylight. I wanted to show this because I actually wanted to show the full model first, but so this is one of the McFarlane minis as a Chaos Marine.
Ooh.
Yeah, so this is our regular friend Chaos Marine down here. This is our like McFarlane minis, McFarlane action figures. Totally converted from a Primaris Intercessor. I believe it's from the Intercessor or the Assault. I think it was from the Assault. Now I have to go.
Intercessor one.
Yeah, but
yeah, it comes with the power sword.
Yeah, this is cool. Like it's a great Instagram post. But like I didn't come to Blinded by Daylight from Instagram. I actually found him on YouTube. And I kid you not, The video is perfect. It is literally from start to finish. It is not every, stroke and whatnot, but like go on YouTube, buy Blinded by Daylight, watch this movie. Yes, I know it's 30 minutes long or whatever. At this point, you've been watching for 2 hours on this stream if you watch it from the beginning in the playback. But the base, all of it, you can see it starts off as a regular, look at him. He's just a regular old intercessor. And we carve on all the chaos factions. We take off all of the other bits, like clean up just all the way through. But like really detailed sculpty, like he's using epoxy sculpt, I think, or maybe it's sculpty. I think it's sculpty actually, now that I think about it more closely. He's from the UK. I would love it if anybody watching, just go over, watch that movie, give it a like, give him the old thumbs up, the follow, the subscribe, the hit the little bell, all those things. Because it's great. Like it truly is the best thing that I can think to do with those McFarlane. Yeah, it's pretty heretical. It's still the best thing I can think to do with those McFarlane Intercessor Marines, because this is way more interesting to me. At any rate, yeah. But I figured you would like it, Adam, because we do have at least one chaosy dude here. Somebody took the plunge, and it is a perfect chaos dude. Like it is absolutely stunning. Mate, if you're listening,
like a nice new looking Corn Berserker sculpt to me. You hear that, Games Workshop? A new 40k Corn Berserker sculpt, since the ones that are current are from 4th edition.
Well, yeah, you can see him. He's there. He is. He's right down there, being all hunchy and having the monopose. It's good.
Yeah,
but
they
like
are awful.
I don't know how long it took you, buddy, to do this. Like I have to say, I'm absolutely impressed. It is so cool to watch you go all the way through the video and all the rest of it. So yeah, man.
I really like how he painted the skull on the backpack.
Yeah, the chainsword is actually my favorite detail. If we're gonna go for one detail, just the weathering on the chainsword, it's subtle, it's present, it works. It works. Like it just absolutely works. So that is, if we are going to talk one detail, that is probably the detail I love the most is the weathering on the chainsword, but all the sculpting all the way around. Like it looks factory. Like it looks absolutely mint. So congratulations, man. Like absolutely stunning work. I am really looking forward to the video. So he does have, yep, got a Goblin Commissar. I want to watch the video. It hasn't come out yet, or at least I don't think it's come out yet. Maybe I missed it because it's been a busy day, but last we chatted, I think he was probably going to bed. He, as I said, he lives in the UK. So, yeah. Gretchen Commissar. Commissar Gretchen?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know what he made that for, but we have just finished World War, and like some of the weird Warhammer communities, like the dudes who play Inquisimunda 28, Galita 28, and World War Grot.
All right. Well, those are all definitely words. I know at least what Necromunda 28 is.
Inquisimunda.
Oh, Inquisimunda 28?
The old 54mm Inquisitor game,
yeah,
adapted to 28mm, and partially using some of the Necromunda mechanics as well. And then Galita 28 is a homebrew post-apocalyptic game using the Inquisimunda 28 rules as a basis for their rules. They do now have their own separate ones. And mainly kit bashed warbands, essentially, of
and somebody
like,
who
a lot of like customized walkers. Think you know that the Scythe board game?
Yeah.
You know how like a lot of they have a video game, an RTS game.
Do they?
Yep.
I didn't know.
Can't remember what it's called. I'll have to check my Steam, which I'll do that right now. But a lot of some of the customizations I've seen are very reminiscent of the Polish artist who originally did the artwork for Scythe.
Okay.
And then also ended up helping with the art and stuff for the RTS game.
Cool.
But yeah, a lot of the minis I've seen people make, especially the creator of Glida 28. Yeah, it's very reminiscent of that style. It's pretty sweet.
Neat. All right. I am
I've been on Steam for so long.
Okay. Again, we're still just working around the model, doing more and more cleanup, just trying to define more of these volumes on our cloak here. Mostly just trying to get highlights placed still. We'll work in shadows here. Well, we'll come back to work in shadows here in a minute. Just want to continue to build our highlights across the model. And you can see in some of these cases, I'm being very, I'm being smooth. So in places where it's definitely pulled tight, like up around his hair and stuff on the chest piece here, I'm going to be a little bit smoother with my steps, a little bit less stippling. In some of the places of the cloak, especially where I feel like it should be tatty and gross, I'm definitely just letting it be tatty and gross because that feels right to me. Fabius is fabulous, but that doesn't mean he is like caring about his weird human skin cloak.
At this point, he's 10,000-year-old. Like, he is not a combat marine anymore.
Oh, well, parts of him probably are, because he just keeps stealing bits and putting them onto himself. I assume that he is like, you know, like your worst interpretation of like a valley, like an aging valley girl, like somebody who is like beautiful in youth and then just keeps like adding more and more plastic surgery to themselves until they become some sort of weird creature. That is what Fabius Bile is to me. Is he was once a very pretty man and is now a weird ghoul-like creature, ghoul-adjacent creature.
Yeah, I know. I can get behind that. Yeah, I get that.
I mean, I don't think that he is like necessarily malicious so much as he is looking for the way to make himself most beautiful, and in doing so, sometimes hurts other people. But I don't think it's like a malevolence. It's just that he wants to be the prettiest. He wants to be the prettiest boy. Which, don't we all want to be the prettiest boy?
Probably.
I mean, I want to be the
Sean
prettiest boy. Yeah, but Sean's not chatting with us, so we can say whatever we'd like about him.
That's true.
For example, did you know that Sean is a beautiful human being? And that I value his friendship and his patronage during our streams?
I did.
But I'll never say that to him out loud. I'll just say it in chat. Or I'll just say it on stream, but like never gonna say it to him like in person or whatever. And if he happened to say like miss it on stream because like he was away from his keyboard or like had real life to deal with, probably never say it again if I'm honest.
I wish I could share this game's page from Steam to you, or there's probably a way, but I don't know.
Just text it to me. Put it in Discord. Send it literally any way. Any of the ways you would normally send things to me, continue to do those things.
I'm just like trying to find like from Steam on my computer, like a way to actually like send this to you.
Oh, just go to steamforge.com and just browse through Steam on the browser. It's exactly the same. I promise.
Okay. Yeah, because I found the game, the RTS game of Scythe. It's called Iron Harvest 1920.
Oh, okay. I've actually played Iron Harvest then.
Oh,
maybe I haven't actually played this version of it. I have played a game called Iron Harvest, so maybe it is an older property that has now been revived by those dudes, but
I'm not sure. It did say on like their Kickstarter and on their Facebook page. that.
Or maybe I'm thinking of an entirely different game now that I think about it more clearly. I'm going to continue to contemplate this. Because it could be that I am mixing up two different games.
So the game I'm talking about is actually the PC RTS game.
Okay.
That is set in the Scythe universe.
Okay. Probably not that game.
Probably Ironheart.
Is it called Probably Iron Harvest? Because I would love it if it was actually called Probably Iron Harvest. That is exactly the type of stupid joke that would make me laugh a lot.
Yeah. No, but
What's your game called? Probably Iron Harvest.
Probably.
What? Are you uncertain? Oh no, it's literally called Probably Iron Harvest. Oh, I need to buy 2 copies. This is like how I got taken in by Untitled Goose Game. It's not that it's a good game. It's an okay game, but like they literally called it Untitled Goose Game. Again, Snakes on a Plane. Bad movie. Genuinely awful movie. Don't get tricked into it. Bad movie.
It's a terrible movie.
But it was also called Snakes on a Plane, which is really the only promise that I'm looking for. Like if somebody came up with a kaiju movie that was just called Kaiju and Punch 'em Up Robot, I'd probably watch that movie. It would be awful. It would have like a $4 budget and men in rubber suits would punch each other badly. But I would probably watch it. Sorry?
Been watching RoboJocks again?
No. I kind of want, like, I know that we got like our supposedly big budget shot with Pacific Rim, but I would really love it if we could get like a truly studio supported high budget giant robots punch kaiju movie. We got really close with Pacific Rim, and then Pacific Rim 2 was just bad, and Pacific Rim 1 was budget problems, so that it wasn't just Gypsy Danger punching a never-ending swarm of kaiju, so they had to actually like shoehorn in a plot, I guess, if you could call it that.
Giant monster invade. We somehow, I love.
No, it wasn't even that part of the plot that bothered me. The part of the plot that bothered me in Pacific Rim, as being like shoehorned, was the 2 scientists, like the 2 guys where they were like, "We can now talk to the kaiju." No, nobody needs to talk to the kaiju. Nobody needs.
Don't do that.
Nobody wants to talk to the kaiju. You are comic relief. Be comedic and relieving, and leave. Or like better take on the same story. Just like be a different set of pilots that we hate and can laugh at. Be the Iceman and whoever Iceman's wingman was to the Goose and Maverick of that universe. At any rate, that was very convoluted. Yep.
So I followed that perfectly.
Okay. I'm glad that somebody else got my weird ranty 80s nostalgia for like why they should have made those characters different characters. This is why we're friends, buddy. This is why we're friends. Because you understand my ranting about how I want Tom Cruise and what's his name to have rivals.
Slider is Iceman's co-pilot.
It is Slider.
Yep.
It absolutely is Slider that is Iceman's co-pilot. Did you send me that link?
No, because Steamforge is just board games, right?
Oh, sorry, not Steamforge. Steam.com. My bad.
Oh, I was like...
Steamforge is like God tier and used to be Guild Ball.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Got a little bit more blending. Steam powered. There we go. Goodness me. But we're getting closer with Fabius's sentient cloak of many colors. Cool. Steam is definitely piping its sound into my headset. This is neat. Sounds good.
Cool. Is that piping in from my end?
I have no idea. It is currently
wait,
playing two different varieties of music at the same time. So I'm not sure if that's on my end or yours. Nope, that is on my end, and that is an error going on inside of... There we go.
On Discord in the general chat, I threw up the Steam link for Iron Harvest.
Neat. All right, let's take a look.
I figured you'd be into it because it is alternate history and it has walkers, but it's like alternate history just past a little bit past World War One.
Well, let's take a look at this thing. Ooh. All right. Okay. I like the like diesel punky aesthetic so far. This is working for me. That dude looks kind of like Daniel Craig. Okay, they're looking a little spongy. Came out last year.
Yep.
September 1st, 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, it was all crowdfunded.
Cool. Cool. I'm always glad when like crowdfunded games actually like come to being a thing as opposed to just like evaporating and making everyone sad. All right, this looks pretty neat. I mean, I have played a couple of rounds of Scythe, but not like a whole lot of Scythe. I gotta be honest.
From what I understand with this, it sounded like the game development took a really long time because they worked really heavily on the game engine. So the world is fully destructible.
Cool.
So you can zoom in, and your mech will, like, one of the walkers will like walk through a building, and it'll, like, the bricks will fall off, but they'll stay on the ground for the rest of the playthrough. And I saw one where the mech had a very flat top, and it still had part of the building on top of it throughout the whole match.
Cool. That is.
It's little details like that make me excited about games. And aside from, I was like, this is what like diesel powered walkers in the 1920s, and it's just a continuation of the First World War.
Fair enough. I mean, I am interested. I can't say that I'm not, but also I have so many board games that I need to get to right now, my friend. Oh boy.
Well, good thing this is a video game.
That's true, and I am actually looking forward to. I'm hoping desperately that we do actually get Frosthaven when it comes out, and that we get it relatively quick, because I'm looking for a little bit of a break.
Just new Elder Scrolls?
No, Frosthaven is
or is that the D&D game that's coming out?
It's neither, actually. It is. So Gloomhaven was.
Oh yes. Yeah. That one. Yeah. Okay. I was on a video game track there.
Yeah. Sorry. No, the Dark Alliance came out today for D&D games, which I'm probably not going to do. I looked. I was like, this seems like it could be fun. It is a 4-player brawl co-op, which I am super into things like Gauntlet, like the original Gauntlet and Gauntlet Champions. Definitely my jam, but just I don't know. And it is the original Forgotten Realms crew. Like, it is Canterbury and Dritz and Bruner Battlehammer, and like it does everything it would have to do to get me in, and I'm not there.
Yeah, I watched the trailer and I was like, okay, that looks cool, but it'd be cooler if you let me make my own character.
Fair. But do wish that I was Bruner Battlehammer in real life, so like there is that as a part of it, right?
Yeah, there's that. I mean, Bruner is
an incredible man.
Awesome. Yeah. Also funny.
Yeah,
that counts for a lot.
So we're just now. I'm going to work a little bit more towards the front of the model here. I'm going to clean up some of what we've done so far. Just sharpen some of our details across the front of the model here. The big things that I'm trying to pick out right now are very raised edges, but only where they're catching the light. So like where it disappears behind his shoulder and stuff there, we're going to leave that alone. We'll come and brighten up parts of his chest here. Just, I want to make sure that the focus of this model is definitely drawn upwards towards the top of the chest and towards his face. Because this is always the issue with painting things skin colored, right? Is I've got this nice big skin colored, like, you know, like multi-textural thing that's happening all up and down the model right now, right? And then I'm gonna, you know, the next step of this is I'm gonna paint old man face on here. And his old man face is gonna start blending in, unless I'm really careful with skin tones, his old man face is gonna blend real heavily into everything that's going on below him. So it's just one of those things that, knowing that, I'm going to put a little bit of an extra highlight here so that when I get to the bottom of his face, I can have a little bit more of a gradient and have it just stand out a little bit. Thanks, Sean. I'm glad that you're back, man. Sean says it's a blog game for Iron Harvest, I'm assuming is what he's talking about.
Law game. John's never played it. It's PC only.
Well, maybe he's talking about Scythe then. I don't know. Or maybe he was talking about something earlier than that? I don't know. Sorry, man. I didn't
Sean, what are
see
you
the
talking
chat.
about? Tell us what you're talking about.
Or
I
no.
might pop out chat windows. Just decided they were going to randomly close.
Neat. I have the whole like command center open as well as the Twitch command center because I forgot that I didn't need the Twitch control stuff.
Oh, the D&D game.
Oh, are you talking about Dark Alliance?
Yeah, he said it's kind of blah.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, to be fair, they haven't made a good 5e game yet. Like, what was the first one? Sword Coast Adventurers, not a great 5e game. Wasn't a huge fan of Baldur's Gate 3.
Didn't hear a lot of good about Baldur's Gate 3.
I mean, in fairness to Baldur's Gate 3, I think it's still in alpha. Like, I don't even think it's moved on to, like, Larian's moved it out of alpha, so I'm not going to judge it too hard. It is, as far as I know, still in alpha. And I did actually play it on Stadia, which was kind of fun.
Oh, so it's just like endless waves of dude. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
is this an endless brawler? Oh.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Vermintide and Vermintide 2. That makes me. I'll never play it.
Yeah. Ain't got time for that.
So, I played Vermintide. It was really, really fun. And then, like, you know, I say this a lot about video games where it's like, oh, it's just the same thing over and over again. And I could say that a lot for, you know, well, pardon me, some of my game choices, like, you know, the first-person shooters where it's like, go here, you know, just
empty room of dudes, go to next place, empty this room of dudes.
Yeah, but Vermintide is legit. Every mission is the same. It's point A to point B, kill everything in between. That is...
To be fair, if I was faced with a whole bunch of... Is Vermintide Skaven, or is it...
It is Skaven.
Yeah.
And, Skaven and...
Like, if I was...
Occasional... I think it's also Chaos Cult, Nurgle Chaos Cultists, and a few Chaos Warriors scattered.
Fair enough. If I was faced with a Skaven Vermintide, I would definitely never stop screaming and always be shooting, and just going from one place where there was a single Skaven to the next place there was a single Skaven, murdering everything all the while, because the Skaven are probably the scariest part of, like, of AOS chaos. I mean, they're just a bunch of clan rats who worship the great horned rat and are somehow considered a chaos faction and have like warp lightning powers.
Yeah, the Great Horned Rat is suspected to essentially be a different visage of Nurgle.
Totally fair. Regardless, it is. The idea of a Vermintide is terrifying. Like
yeah,
literally so many rat bodies that they're rat bodies on top of like super intelligent rat bodies who just keep like going from being regular old sewer rats to being like super intelligent warlock rats
that are the size of like
Love it.
like a teenage kid.
Yeah. Yeah, no thanks. That is that's a no for me, dog.
Totally. I do remember in Oldhammer
Being warlocks, being cannoneers, like all of them, just terrifying. We have no control over where this lightning is going to happen, but it's gonna happen towards you, I hope.
Yeah, it's like there's like the old in Oldhammer, it was the Jezzael rifle team.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was Jezzael, not Jezalok.
Which was the most stable Skaven weapon, where it was actually like fairly rare for it to blow up. And then they have things like the warp fire thrower, which blew up most of the time, or the rattling gun, which didn't blow up, but it would usually misfire and kill about half your guys. And then there's the warp lightning cannon, which would just detonate like a nuclear bomb in your back line. Because
even crazier things like just having like the rat ogres, or even in the new one, like the whatever their giant rats are. I can't remember what they're called right now because I'm bad at this. But like they just have giant dudes or magical giant dudes, or like the vermin lords. That's what they're called right now. Like
and
beast slash commanders. Why would you give that to them?
Yeah. So the Skaven, at least in Oldhammer, I'm not sure how their AOS lore is. They used to enjoy a little bit of the
Monica? Sorry.
No, the bit of the old, some nose beers.
Yeah. All right.
But see, these were it wasn't like substance like it would be in our universe. It was ground up warpstone. They did lines of warp dust.
Railing warpstones?
Yeah, essentially. They're like, hey, I need a power up.
Time to rail some warpstone?
Yeah, watch me do this sick line, bro, and then blow up that tower with my warp lightning. But you don't have warp lightning. I will.
Also, just let's talk for a second about the plague monks and plague centers.
Oh, God.
Just wandering around rats that are just like coughing up the plague on everybody that turns other people into either zombies or more plague rats.
Like, not like, you don't become like a giant man rat. You literally, your body explodes into a pack of plague rats.
Yep. Just regular old plague rats.
They don't even get the cool, like, you don't turn into a Skaven. You, like...
Yeah, no, this isn't were rat time. This is just, now you're a bundle of rats.
Yeah, it's like, haha, he was a bag of rats the whole time.
Oh, man.
And with Skaven, yeah, sometimes they are just a bag of rats.
Yeah.
I think the Skaven Night Runners, essentially Skaven Ninja, are absolutely terrifying.
Yeah, I'm a little sad. Like, AOS has sort of put all of the Skaven into a single faction, right? So you used to be able to play Skaven as, like, you could do a Plague Bearers faction, or you could do a Night Runners faction, or you could do, like, the, what are the Jez ones? The Lightning guys. Or you could do the weird, like Vermin Lord and that sort of guys, like the big monster ogre, rat ogres and that sort of stuff. And they weren't really all the same army. They were all like their own independent thing that you could take allies from other factions in, but now it's all just one list. So it's all like
you used to be able to like mix and match. So it's like, oh, you could have a core of storm vermin with, a back, or like, a screening unit of some plague monks.
Yeah, and I mean, all that stuff still exists. It's just, it's all one faction now. Like, it's not sub-factioned out, if I remember correctly. Maybe it is sub-factioned out, but not in the way that I think about it anymore. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Age of Sigmar 3. Like, I know that the rulebook for Age of Sigmar 3 is already floating around because I watched Vince Ventrilla's, like, 4-hour video where they talked about the rules in Warhammer... in Age of Sigmar 3, Warhammer Age of Sigmar 3. I need a book to learn it and somebody to help explain the way through it, because like they chatted about a lot of things and I was like, that sounds cool, but how does that actually work? And by the time that they were talking about it, I mean, to be fair, like Vince and like everybody on Vince's channel last week they were all like tournament players. Like they'd all done numerous Age of Sigmar, Sigmar 2, like they'd all done tournaments and stuff. And I have never played a single game of Age of Sigmar, so trying to listen to a bunch of tournament players explain the rules is probably the worst way of learning the rules of a game. It'd be like trying to learn Magic the Gathering rules from like an actual like Magic the Gathering tournament player, which sounds awful. And not just because of the smell.
Yeah, I will still say that, yes, while Magic kids are smelly, they got nothing on a GW on a tournament weekend.
Yeah, I was talking to my neighbor who is, he's not a tournament player, but he did LVO 3 years ago now? The last Las Vegas Open, the Calgary Gaming Club went down and did LVO, and he was like, yeah, it was lots of fun, but like, you know, you're out after day one. I mean, it sounds like a great experience, and I think he was saying Jeff made it all the way to Sunday, like to playing in the top 8 Sunday, which is cool. Like that's really neat. Congratulations. But like, I don't know. I mean, the Las Vegas Open has got to be the like one place on the planet where Warhammer stink can't overtake a convention hall, right? Like, it's Las Vegas. Like they have to circulate the air 300,000 times an hour just so that it doesn't like broil the people inside alive immediately, right? Like they've got to have an HVAC that can pull a fart out of an elephant from 400 yards away. Like
before the elephant has even farted.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No. Like literally. I mean, it's Vegas. You have to be able to cool the air inside of a convention center, because if you can't cool that air, like circulate that air out and cool it, you will just blow up your building, I assume, with like accumulated BO within like moments, literal seconds before the building implodes, especially under a heavy Warhammer load. We're pretty close. I still want to do a little bit more as far as like introducing some more gritty textures down to the towards the bottom there, but I'm going to do that over once we've kind of got a lighting source set with the rest of the model as well. But that's basically it. This is probably where I'm going to leave it for tonight, guys. So I'll do a little spin. We'll try to keep it in focus as much as possible. I'll give you guys a little spinnerty spin here.
I'm really liking how his sentient cloak is working.
Yeah,
it's looking really good. I love how you can tell it's different flesh tones.
Let's put on some arms here so we got a little bit of idea of scale and stuff. We should probably do the one on his Paladron. I mean, technique is going to be the same. I'll probably just do his Paladron in my own time here, but you guys can get a good look-see of Fabius. Next week, I'm probably going to work a little bit on the face. Well, let's see. I'll either work on faces, which I'll do both. Like I'll do the Sororitas face that he's got hanging off of his belt there, as well as Mr. Bile's face. Or I'll do metallics, and we can talk about how I want to do some Decayed Gold, because he's 10,000 years old. So Decayed Gold is one of my favorite colors. I think that Scale Color calls it decayed metal, but I'm talking about like green brass, basically. So decaying brass, or the brass itself, is starting to get not well. It's oxidizing, right? So oxidizing brass, which is just copper and zinc, turns green when it oxidizes, because copper turns green as it oxidizes. Anyway, one or the other of those, we'll either be doing old gold, or we'll be doing faces. Kind of depends how I feel next week when we get closer. In the meantime, you can follow me on social media. I am Choice Minis, basically everywhere you want to be. Twitch, TikTok, and Instagram. Adam, where can people follow you on the internet?
You can follow me on Instagram at beach_vacation_Mando, and follow my journey into Mando cosplay.
Ooh.
I do finally have the Bofet prototype helmet dismantled with I have all the parts I'm going to use off.
You got to take some photos, throw them up get them up on the main feed.
I should.
Put it in your grid. Put it in the grid. All right. Well, thank you everybody for watching and being with us today. If you liked what you saw, it would really help the channel. Take a moment, give us a like, subscribe, hit the little bell, follow, all the rest of it. Because we're a growing channel, and every time you guys can do even something that small, it helps just an absolute ton. We would love it if you guys would go and head out, check out both of our features on Hits on 2+, so you can go and Adam, I'm gonna forget the name of your guy, and I'm really sad about that. It is George Abelani. Yeah, Abelanian? George Abelanian. That's what I'm gonna go with. George.Abelanian, Abalyan, as well as wow, now that I've completely erased everything from my mind. Blinded by Daylight. Wow, Blinded by Daylight on both Instagram and on YouTube. Please go check them out, give them a follow, see what they got going on, because oh man, Blinded by Daylight, I'm stunned. Absolutely stunned.
Amazing. So good.
It makes me want to actually go and buy a McFarlane Warrior and edit it so that it looks like my army. That is how inspiring your work is, man. All right. Oh, sorry, I just about died there. And by just about died, I mean just about burped loudly on stream. If you have any suggestions for more models that we can feature, or techniques, or things that you'd like me to cover as far as painting tutorials, that sort of stuff, segment suggestions, anything at all, you can either put it down in the comments, you can put it in chat right now. I'm going to be on for another couple minutes here. Or you can email it to choiceminis@gmail.com, or DM me on literally your social media of choice. You can support us by... Oh.
Or if you have something you want us to nerd out about, instead of just letting off, listening to us go off on tangents about Canadian politics. And
we didn't even talk about Green Stuff World. We should talk about Green Stuff World next time.
Oh, we definitely should.
At any rate, yeah, because Green Stuff World has just an amazing collection of the coolest, nerdiest crud on the planet. You can support us by buying our merch, or you can donate in the Willow Tree link in the description. Just, it's down there, trust me. Or, if I know that not everybody's got time and money to donate, but like if you could tell a friend, or lie to a friend. I fully support lying to a friend to get them to watch the stream for at least. Yeah. Please
tell them we have punch and pie.
Tell them that we have cookies. I'll bake cookies on stream if that'll get people to watch.
We'll eat cookies on stream if people want to watch.
I kind of want to watch you eat cookies while I bake cookies.
I was eating milk and cookies during the stream.
That's fair. It is becoming very homoerotic, so I'm going to keep going. Adam, I love you, man. We'll see all of you guys on Thursday. We'll be back with the new Helmgard Giants. I am going to be painting a blue beard on it. Dude, I'm so excited for this. I finally get a mini that I'm going to paint a blue beard on, and it is going to be just the weirdest thing. So if you guys want to join us on Thursday the 24th at 6:00 p.m. here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:00 Pacific, or -7 UTC. So if you want to, we are -7 UTC. Listen, if you live in the EU, I'm sorry, I will stream this weekend and see if I can catch you that way. Do something about white supremacy. Get vaccinated. ACAB. I love you, everybody. Have a good night.